here. Find a better spot to hurt someone this way. Move with caution. Saw someone out there. Stay focused.
Bro, our teammate not in the game, bro.
Smoke out. Eating lead. Spotted. Double timing it. Give it in the chimney.
Delivering care package.
We must reposition here.
Give me a sec. Reach. Safety's off, folks. Enemies here.
Smart bullets hunting foes. Hooligan over there. Poor Braddock. Being shot at. Rude. Find a car.
Oh my god, bro.
I better select an upgrade.
They all hit me with a fucking bow and arrow. They all got bows, bro. Bro, they all got bow and arrows, bro. They just all triple shot me with fucking bows. I'm dead. It don't matter, bro. Just get out of here. It's what? No, you're going the wrong way, John.
Grappling.
Longbow here.
Don't pick me up. Don't pick me up. Just get out of here.
Give my shield a recharge.
Picked an upgrade, friends.
Teammate gone, bro. Just get out of here.
Much obliged.
Oh, shoot the zip. I know you got that. You've been out the game for 10 minutes.
Cracks an enemy shield. Down.
Oh, just pick us up, like, or, Bang. Damn, bro. I had a fully kitted.
This Mama W is
They
diabolically
triple shotting me.
nuclear program, maybe we can do that. But if you allow these people to get their hooks in where they say, well, our goal needs to be regime change because that's the only way we stop their nuclear program, or because they've hit U.S. troops and so we need to retaliate and that's the only lever we have, I'm not sure you can get that done with only planes dropping bombs. And that's how you end up with, God forbid, U.S. troops end up in Tehran.
And there is kind of this like modern hope that like we're able to just do it with air power.
Yeah,
Right.
It's the thought of, oh, we just fly planes, they can't hit us, no one gets shot down, and no one dies.
There's no casualties, and it's kind of a fiction of the modern military pedestrian model. So I want to read a email here. This is by no means the majority, but I would say a lot of younger people are emailing us something similar. Charlie, I supported Donald Trump and voted for him. I will be voting for anyone that is explicitly anti-Israel next election. So Jack, I know this is not the primary thing on people's mind, but what has the last week done, in your opinion, for the Israel advocacy, or the people have
Round
the belief
two.
pro or
Beginning
against?
countdown.
Has it improved people's opinion of Israel?
Rings
Has
hard.
it decreased people's opinion of Israel? Jack Silver.
Replicator touching down.
With a number of these things, for the older generation, I think it's something where they're generally pro-Israel. Then so baby boomers, and Gen X writ large. Then you cut down to millennials, that's kind of 50-50 with Gen Y. But for Gen Z in particular, they've shifted in a big way. I saw one poll from last week, over 50%.
quite far. There is not much time left.
And they go on TikTok and they look at videos coming out of Gaza every day of dead kids. Now they see bombing in Iran and they say,
Shotgun
what
bolt
is this?
here. Level
Why
3.
isn't anyone coming in
Bolts
to
increase
do
rate of
something
fire.
to help us? Why isn't anyone doing anything to fix the economy?
But the rain about to close, bro.
Health situation.
Jump tower here.
To fix housing, to fix housing without having to sell off all of our public land. So that we don't
Nice. Weapons looking fine.
And they're saying, when is our government going to do something?
My weapon is cooler now because it's
Let's
enhanced.
reposition there.
That's exactly what the first words out of their mouth. And it seems like they feel
Survey beacon over there.
they feel that other people's interests don't seem to come.
Enough dawdling, children. The ring moves and we aren't in it.
If you were to give advice to pro-Israel advocates and also a warning, what would they be? Because I think
I found our less friendly friends.
the last
Check your
couple of
maps.
weeks have not necessarily improved American.
Oh, I'm in the gas.
They usually carry rare
What would
platforms.
your advice be?
My first advice is
Care package over there.
just listen. You know, this is the difference between
Weapon in hand. Ain't that pretty?
between different effective communication and ineffective communication.
I've enhanced my weapon.
Care package over there.
My shield is recharged.
Feels like
Jump tower there. Let's reposition there.
So if you're trying to meet Gen Z where they are, then actually listen to them and don't tell them how they should be
Here I go.
and why. Find out what
Let's go this way.
Let's go over there.
go back to
Bro, I'm about to go back for my box, bro. Fuck that. I know they ain't find it.
My weapon is cooler now because it's enhanced.
Boy, they didn't even find it, bro.
Let's go this way.
And so a lot of Gen Z is saying someone does
Optics here. Close range. Always better than I am.
Instant restocking complete.
they get lectures.
Am I gonna make it?
They're dropping a replica.
Of course.
Or this way.
Everyone who's been donating to
Repairing my damages.
extremely grateful.
He wants to play the tunnel.
£5, British pounds. Please, America.
No, I'm just letting you know, bro.
Israelis really need this. We can't do this without you guys.
Check your maps. Evo Harvest. Target over there.
Jackson donated $5. Charlie, my friend, Jack Lyles, and I love your content.
Extended light mag here.
Excited to see you joining. Alex Evans donated $5. What if we rebuild the enrichment sites into
Laser
Buc-ee's
sight
and
here.
Costco
Laser
locations?
sight here.
Not until
Level
we get
2.
a Buc-ee's here in Phoenix.
We are getting them.
I want it. Buc-ee's is amazing.
Optics here.
I feel like if you go to
Close
Buc-ee's,
range.
you come away thinking America can defeat everyone in the world because no one else has anything like that. It is incredible.
But did you find any bats, bro? Like, I got.
Let's see, Jose Lopez donated $10. He wrote numbers 24/9, trusting God,
get
never
here.
backs down on his promises.
Yeah, I'm not running over there.
Bless Israel, God bless America, Trump and U.S. armed.
Energy ammo here. Shield battery here.
That would be good. No, I would disagree. I would prefer that we not support Islam, but Islam wants to stop waging war on the United States, the radicals. Magic 11. Taiwan. That's definitely something that's
Come on. Oh my god.
$2. I've seen more Iranians okay with this than Americans. I've seen people say this, but again, I want to caution people. The Iranians you know are not necessarily representative of Iran writ large. If they're people who know English, if they're people in America, that's not the same as your ordinary rural Iranian.
Ring's closing in
So I wanted to say
60,
really quick,
but
we're
it's
live here
near.
on Real America's
Spot
Voice,
of good luck, that.
according to our team, which is great. Hello, everybody that is just watching.
I mean, we got a ring right here, I think, kinda.
Obviously, the United States has bombed Iran.
Set up
I'll
a
hear from you
defense
guys.
in this area.
freedom@charliekirk.com. Do you support this? Are you in favor? What are your concerns? Email us at freedom.
Somebody turret.
Also, special thank you. Phenomenal
Cracked an enemy
guys.
shield.
What they're doing
I should
there
get
is
an
really
upgrade.
holding us
You
down
can
with
never
the
have
Ukraine
too many
war.
upgrades.
Lost to the last one. Guess so. Enemy spotted.
I've chosen an
How do we
upgrade.
keep the
Be very afraid, non-friends.
Yeah, we have to keep this coalition together. People are getting very spicy online. I have
Optics
a
here.
prediction.
Mid-range. Always better than
Might be
iron sights.
non-fiction. I think it's going to be turned out right. I think
Relocate here.
Broken enemy shield. Opening fire.
moving on. Jack, what now? This is a very important question, Jack. Jack, what now? Does Donald Trump have to do to fulfill the mandate for the ban on immigration, on the border? Cernovich has to think about
Sneak
this.
here.
Jack,
Scout.
what?
So, look, you know, and I read Cernovich too as well.
Hunting foes.
We've all been looking for it. We've all been like for it.
Firing a smart
Lord
bullet.
champions it every single chance he gets
I'm just firing this. I guess he just pinging shit, bro. I don't fucking know, man. I know it's a team right here, bro. Now he dancing on the wall. Oh, that's you.
We've an enemy there. Smart bullets away. The game's afoot. Smart bullets found in spawn. Smart bullet being deployed.
Wow, you got a grenade? Throw it in there.
Smart bullets away.
On my smart bullet. It just,
Reloading.
I'm just hitting them. Oh wow. Is this team scared to fucking step out the door? I'm not pushing up on that.
Firing.
Need lead.
The most important thing is called Project 10 million. We need 10 million deportations.
What?
Tango down.
We have a million.
Oh, he downed somebody.
Deportations. We are on pace. We're getting about a what?
The old me would have let you rot.
Yeah, come watch my back real quick. Yeah.
I still fight.
Arrests.
Oh my god, I don't understand how he went down and we got hyped.
We have a million self. Right. So we have nothing. It's Project 10 million. I
We
like
got literally God spot right now.
success is 10 million. We don't have the capacity for that yet. 10 million is a
Good
big
work.
deck. That's
We're
how
inside.
that 10 million would be a major big company.
Yeah, good shit, boy.
This thing could be
Cracked an enemy shield.
What? Now, we need to pass the big beautiful bill.
Termites away.
Project 10 million. Because we don't measure them production.
He coming up, team coming up.
Reloading.
Smart bullets away.
Wow. It's all good, just let him rest. No. Oh my god. Oh my.
Pretty fired up, right? We have to pitch a perfect game.
darling?
We do, and if there's a man who can pitch a perfect game,
Replenishing my shield.
Wow, we sold, bro. We had God spot.
45 seconds left. Pressure on old
the
chap.
no taxes on overtime, the no taxes
Broken.
on
Smart break deployed. Smart bullets hit our foe.
Secretary Lutnick, as well
Rings
fucking
near.
soul, bro.
30 seconds to kill. Excellent. Was feeling peckish.
One of the thresholds potentially 300 or so, maybe
Smart bullets landed. Listen close for the overheat.
taxes federally writ large for everyone under
The ring's near, Brinkman. Won't close soon. Take it easy.
And again, Charlie, this is part of what and this is something that we talk about.
Final ring closes. Purpose of goes with it. Smart bullet deployed.
Oh my god, bro, how?
So, by the way, Alexandria has the potential to call it
Are these motherfuckers gonna fight? Wow, they got this team in the corner, bro. But I'm mad that I was fucking. Yo, Bangalore, you're really ass, bro. Like, ass.
And so really like one bomb, I can't imagine that actually does violate. What it would be is
Why
if
you jumped on
every
that?
single day, all of that, then you actually have to like get the long term.
So Blake, I want to get to some more of the chats here, but let me just read some emails. Freedom@charliekirk.com. We're here live on Real America's Voice. By the way, you can listen to all of our commentary if you subscribe to the Charlie Kirk Show podcast. That's the Charlie Kirk Show podcast. Follow the QR code. We're going to be doing live commentary all week on this. This is a major day. So pull up some of those, Blake. But Jack, let me throw it back to you. So Jack, from a military standpoint, I want to get the map of all of our military bases up. What are the precautionary measures that U.S. troops have to go through in preparation to a Iranian ballistic missile attack against a United States base in the region?
Yeah, Charlie, well, a lot of that, fortunately has already been done. And so these are going to be some of the messages that Secretary Hegseth sent out to the force earlier in this week, as well as force dispersal. So what do we mean by force dispersal? That means, so in a Pearl Harbor, like let's go back to Pearl Harbor, as December 7th, 1941, as a successful quote unquote military strike of the Japanese on a naval base. Well, one of the reasons it was so successful in large was because of the fleet sitting there tied pierside, tied dockside. So you had so much of it right there at the Pearl Harbor Navy base, obviously, in Hawaii, that weren't able to get off. And so those kamikazes, the bombers, everything that the Japanese Navy was able to hit at it were there because they were in one central localized facility. Interestingly enough, a number of the aircraft carriers were actually out on maneuvers on that day, and that's one of the reasons that the United States Navy switched to aircraft carrier strike following Pearl Harbor. But so since then, one of the strategies has always been disperse your assets. So get your ships over operating in different areas, move your aircraft over, get them to different places. If you've got civilians, obviously many of these bases. I had a family member who was living on the Bahrain Naval Base at one point. They're not there currently, but had their entire family there and was living on base. So a lot of these families have gotten out, and at the same time, though, there are still people that are within range there. So you're going to be looking for what's our force protection level, what are we looking for in terms of air defense to make sure that those are all manned. But you're going to be put on high alert, and so hopefully all non-essential personnel have been evacuated at this point, or at least safe places, simply just outside of the base and getting to places. And this is what, by the way, a lot of the embassies in any of these areas are focused on a regular basis. Now, one thing that I've been looking for and I haven't noticed are the mass evacuations of U.S. citizens from anywhere you'd call it a NEO, or a non-combatant evacuation operation. And we haven't seen a NEO in any of the locations really around the Gulf, since the start of this conflict. And now there have been limited evacuations, but not a full-scale NEO. And so that tells me that they're expecting potentially some reprisal, but not anything, at least at this point, that would resemble a full-scale war.
CNN is saying 2 bunker busters were dropped on Natanz. Navy submarines launched 30 Tomahawk cruise missiles, and there were 2 bunker busters.
They're saying they dropped a dozen bunker busters.
The link says 2.
Yeah, on Natanz, but they're saying we dropped a dozen on Fordo. A dozen bunker busters. I wonder if we have several bunker busters. Like, we have that 30,000-pound one that's, like, very powerful. We have lesser ones, so maybe there's an aspect of that. Like, maybe each of them dropped a heavy
the
and the light.
ordnance, the ordnance question and the battle. So if I could just make a point on this real quick, that I'm seeing so many disparate reports on what exactly was dropped, what was fired, what went out, when it did. You know, I'm not sure. Right. I'm going to go with the president on what he said because that's the only real official word that we have thus far. Perhaps Secretary Hegseth or his office will put out something a little bit more clarifying or definitional in terms of what came out, because there's a lot of strange, numbers floating around. And when I say strange, I mean they're sort of, one person says it was 12, one person says it was 6, one person says it was 2, and so I'm really waiting to hear some kind of official word, if we get one or not, on what specifically was dropped. But then writ large, of course, Charlie, as you've been saying, we really do need to figure out what the battle damage assessment here is of these facilities, in particular the facility of Fordo, and that's going to be hard to do. It's almost like bombing a pyramid and then trying to figure out what happened to the pharaoh's tomb underneath. And it's going to be very hard to do that with signals intelligence. It's going to be very hard to do that with imagery or satellite imagery. And so this is something where whether or not Mossad has that network still in place within Iran is going to be very critical, and whether or not CIA has assets as well, because you really need that human intelligence to understand what was lost, whether the centrifuges were taken out, how much of this thing is, still at, recoverable in any way. So a lot of these questions are directly tied to the amount of ordnance used. And by the way, this is a process called battle damage assessment. It is an art, it is a discipline, and it would follow any military strike, large or small, as you're going through. And so, when I'm asking these questions, these are the same questions I would ask about any strike package or target package that were being put together in the military, because that's what we do every single time.
Blake, let's get to some of the super chats here. But first, I want to just encourage you guys, email us your thoughts. I'm reading them live here on air. I want to get a good sense of where you're at. freedom@charliekirk.com, freedom@charliekirk.com. Blake.
All right, let's get a few more. Bobby Gonzalez says, Charlie swayed me away from the left. Picking up W's all over the place.
I'm gonna send you a signed hat, Barbie.
Bobby Gonzalez.
Bobby.
All right. Yeah,
I'm glad it wasn't Barbie.
Shoot an email if you're Bobby Gonzalez, because that was a YouTube one. So
freedom@charliekirk.com. Bobby, not Barbie. I don't want to see any emails from Barbie.
We did get a Barbie sub, didn't we?
Barbie's a legit name.
Yeah, it is Barbara. Susie gave $5. Charlie, I love everything you say. Always correct. Maybe you should be the next president. Well, are you old enough to run in 28? Not that you would, of course, run against her.
I would be old enough only on the October before the election.
That's old enough.
I would be running as a 34-year-old.
Oh, boy.
I'm not running for office, by the way. I'm not running. I'm just I did the math the other day. Someone was like, "Are you old enough?" I'm like, I don't know. And so I would be 35 by the election and 35 by the inaugural.
Karen donated $5 and used an emoji of a hippo. That's it. Just the hippos, man. Scott Brady donated $50. Thank you very much. I pray that my great-grandchildren will experience a more peaceful world one day because of President Trump's decision today, June 21st, 2025. Now is the time to move forward with calm emotions and pray for God's direction. Amen, Scott. Do we have some more here? Tika Lynn, $10. Israel does not need our help. It is the Lord who is their help. We are blessed through Israel. They are one of our allies. Anyone who fights them fights against the Lord Jesus. Larry the Lemon donated $10. Thank you, Larry. He says, I am about to go active duty army. I don't really care about me dying, but it is my friends and family I am worried about. Well, we care about you dying, and we will do our best to make sure that does not come to pass. Vivine Benny, sorry if I said that incorrectly. She donated $31 Australian. Continue your consistent and courageous act of speaking honestly, even when it is difficult or sensitive. Peace on earth. Thank you very much, Vavine. Raquel Petri, Jesus lives forever. Amen. Do we have
That
any
is true.
others? Yes, we have a few. Let's see. Jason H. Hey, Charlie, I am going to serve in the military, and I am worried that I may fight in an endless, useless war. We are all worried about that. We do not want that to happen. Jackson asks, how many new members will get the signed hat? Does everyone who signs up as a member?
Everyone as a member gets one. Members.charliekirk.com. And then if you also signed hat, also random selection of those that subscribe to our podcast and email us proof of subscription.
Ooh, I like this guy. Ben says, Charlie, come visit the Cyber City in Chongqing, China. You are going to want to see how much China has progressed infrastructure-wise while the Biden-Harris administration have made America lag behind. I think that would be a fun trip if we ever got Charlie to go to China and like see what it looks like.
Oh, I want to. No,
It could be-
I want. By the way, one day I want to go to Iran. I want to
Yeah.
see it.
Isfahan is, where we bomb one of those sites. Isfahan is like the kind of one of the religious centers of Iran. It's got some very fascinating stuff. I would love to see that too. Probably not anytime soon though. Adam donated $10. I would much rather we go this route and stop Iran from creating a nuclear bomb than see them erase Israel. Iran has a very evil ideology.
Wait. Chat, yes or no? Should we send Blake to Iran? Guys, what do you think?
You
Should
could
we
be the
send
Charlie
Blake to
Kirk
Iran?
Show ambassador.
Oh dear.
So
What do you, Blake? You're gonna have to grow your beard out again.
we have a ton of Rumble chats too, but let me just read one important email here, freedom@charliekirk.com, because there's reports that Iran now claims they're going to accelerate themselves towards a nuclear bomb. This could potentially be a series of bombing campaigns over months and years. That is the most bearish, dooming interpretation. If Iran just keeps on saying they want a nuclear bomb, this has to be a series of these types of campaigns. Blake, keep going.
I want to hit those Rumble rants. Colorado, one of the guys who brought up the Schofield Bible earlier, he says Schofield notes are still wrong.
Well, they might be, but thank you for acknowledging their notes. Now, they act as if it's like the Book of Mormon, like a different book.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It is the New King James Version with notes by Schofield. Just saying.
Yuan 512 donated $10 on Rumble. Love President Trump. God bless America. Farm Life 2012 said Trump knew the MAGA movement's future would be hurt. He would not have taken this action if he didn't believe it was absolutely needed for the United States, not Israel's, safety. Thank you for that, Farm Life. Shoank says, as long as the Strait of Hormuz is not blocked, then let's negotiate. Fatal Investing donated $10. He says, I'm Gen Z here. Sorry, but this is a major blow for me. He struck I will support him and hope he continues with the agenda, but I will be abstaining from the 2026 and 2028 elections. I'm sorry, this has consequences, and I'm from Pennsylvania. So that is an interesting take to have. I'm impressed by like the maturity to say like, I will see if this succeeds, but I just believe it has to have consequences, so I won't vote. I wonder how many people feel that way.
Guys, it's the summer of 2025. If we're talking about this in the summer of June next year, then I'll give you some credence to that.
Todd 12, he donated $5 twice. He says, what you're saying is screw the Iranian people and they should or can never be free again. I don't think we're saying screw the Iranian people.
No, not at all, actually. We're actually cheering for the Iranian people. We just don't want to forcibly take out the Ayatollah, because you might get something much worse. And a lot of refugees.
And
a civil war.
Some people have said that though, and Charlie, I know you got that phone call and that's going pretty viral. And I want to be clear that I certainly don't feel that way towards the Iranian people at all. As a matter of fact, I don't think that they bear or any regime's people bear responsibility for its actions. I really don't.
Of course not. No, I mean, like, yes, someone called into our show. That the episode will air on Sunday, but it's on podcast. Literally, like, a guy wanted to drop a neutron bomb on Iran.
Neutron bombs.
Like, it's crazy.
We got our first Tucker 2028 message, Midwest Griller. So I wonder if we'll see that friction point grow or recede, because Tucker was.
I think it's going to be fine.
He was very correct on the Elon Musk prediction. He said that would get resolved by November, and it got resolved by the following week.
Yeah, I was a little bit shorter. I was a bit Hey, but I was right. I said bye.
Yeah. Yes. No. I'm saying you were super correct. You were given 6-month window, and you were right within a week. That was impressive. I was not nearly as optimistic on that one. Thank you very much again. All the donations, we appreciate all the different takes, and we're seeing this is I feel like one of the biggest ranges of opinion we've seen. We're seeing sharply against this. We're seeing sharply in favor. We're seeing a lot of wait and see, or I trust Trump even if I'm skeptical. We're really seeing a whole spectrum of opinions on this. Eric Day, $20. My wife and I support Trump. Thank you, Charlie and team, for all you do. In God we trust. And
Amen.
That's the truest thing. We put our trust in the Almighty that this will work out to his benefit and the benefit of those who follow him. SM said, Trump just fractured his base. He didn't have the margin to do this, and it will cost him. Get AIPAC influence chokehold out of the GOP.
That's a podcast topic for another time. We're not going to address that tonight. Any others?
More if I can give you. There's so many.
Let me ask to the audience, freedom@charliekirk.com, because I learned so much. By the way, you know how many emails we have? We have 4,000 emails in just the last
4,000
in just the last like 30 minutes. Yeah. I mean, and I have them all pulled up here, so I can kind of get it, because I can read the subject line, I can read a lot of this. So guys, email me freedom@charliekirk.com. If this escalates further, would you support that? Or do you want this to kind of be a one and done? Do you guys want this to be just kind of over? Or do you want this to would you be okay with this escalating more and more? Freedom@charliekirk.com. Jack, can you read some of the stuff you're messaging me? I don't know, just some of the stuff that Iran State News Agency says that Fordo facility did not notice any signs of a major explosion. This could just be cope. This could just be Iranian propaganda, but what is this?
Yeah, no, Charlie, I mean, like we're all doing, we're trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. So, thanks to the internet, we have the ability to read both sides. And so I'm reading what the U.S. is putting out. I'm reading what Iranian sources are putting out, Israeli sources. And it seems like Iran is doing everything they can to downplay this. And certainly that's being done for internal consumption. So the Qom Province Crisis Management Center is saying there is no threat to the residents of Qom or the surrounding areas. There's a report where they're saying that the Iran State News Agency is saying the traffic in the city and along the Qom-Isfahan highway is reportedly flowing normally. No traces of contamination following strikes on U.S. nuclear facilities. And sort of back and forth, they're saying that, let's see. Okay, so this is Iranian MP says, there's no serious damage to Fordo, only ground structures were damaged, which are easy to restore. No radiation emissions were recorded. The evacuation was carried out in advance. And so they're really putting out as much as possible that saying, hey, there's no fire, there's no debris. So they're really doing as much as they can to downplay this. But at the same time, they're also publicly stating that they want to retaliate and that there will be serious retaliation against the U.S. People on Iranian television saying, you started it, we finish it, we're coming for all of your military bases, we're coming for all of your air bases. They're putting up the same maps that we are of all the U.S. military bases within range of Iranian forces. And just again and again, pretty much exactly what you would expect them to be saying right now.
Let's go to cut 286, the CNN report here, 286.
Here's the latest developments on this major breaking news that we're following, breaking news in Iran. American bombers have struck 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 nuclear sites, major nuclear sites inside Iran. Those sites, Fordo, Isfahan, and Natanz. They're considered the heart of Iran's nuclear ambitions. Israel had Israel had tried to target them in the past, but a U.S. official tells CNN that the U.S. used not 1, not 2, but 6 B-2 bombers and 12 bunker buster bombs. And that was just at the Fordo site. Sources tell CNN that the U.S. Told Iran through back-channel discussions that the strikes would be contained and no further strikes were planned, at least not yet.
Okay, Israeli Army radio reports the U.S. did not attack the enrichment facility in Isfahan that Israel had attacked, but another site that was carved into a mountain where enriched material was hidden. So that makes you
That actually makes me worry a little bit. Where it's good if they found a spot where material was hidden, but I feel like, okay, if there's one site where they were hiding stuff and we found it, how many are there where they're hiding things and we didn't
Again,
find it?
the Persian people are very smart. This is not the Taliban. This is not the Taliban, okay? The Persian people were once great people with very high IQs. Let me read to you from a top reporter who will remain nameless, but very well sourced. By the way, just so you know, from this, the text I got at 4:20 a.m., which I didn't read because my phone was off, from a different source. Hey, I think it's happening tonight. Again, my phone was off, so now it's happened. So just our sources are good. That's why you should watch our program, right, Jack? Because you and I have the best. We have great sources here, and Andrew would agree. Okay, quote,
what did the reporter say? Yeah.
quote, I really hope I am wrong, but I think Israel is now going to push for regime change, and now Trump will own it. And remember, Andrew, what have we been pushing all week? No regime change, no regime change, no regime change. And Andrew, was Andrew here or is Andrew gone?
I'm here, but
no, it's all
choppy.
good. Oh, boy. We'll try here. But remember, people said, oh, no one's pushing for regime change. I think it's fair to say that we actually saw where this argument was going in advance. Now, by regime change, what do we mean? If the people want to rise up and do it themselves, legit, respect, we'll cheerlead them on, we'll give them moral support, we'll pipe internet, whatever. We're talking about forcibly displacing a leader with military assassination. Andrew.
Yeah, here's the problem, Charlie, if you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Is that you don't know where this leads. You hit their nuclear sites. If they strike back, we have to then hit them back. And at that point, if nuclear weapons is a mindset, like you said, if the only way to get rid of nuclear is to take out the regime, the leaders of the nation. So you don't know where this goes. You cannot predict how they will respond. At this point, you may have radicalized them. There was a mention that Polymarket, the odds of them trying now to develop an actual weapon has now gone up, because now they know that they are